Hi, 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 hi. How's it going, everyone? Gosh, this is whack, whack, whack. I hate this. One second. Ugh, trying to get a setup that works because I think the one that I've been using, the one that works for me really well, is not doing it. But okay. Hi, Wiz. Hi, Groven. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you all are doing great. I'm doing alright. Today's been a weird day, but that's fine. Not bad, just weird. A lot of start stop, not getting a flow at work, and I don't know. It's made my day weird. But hi, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I had a great time. Oh. I spent a lot of Saturday doing. What did I do? Oh, I did laundry. I did laundry. So Saturday I DM'd D&D. Um, uh, this was a session that was weirdly between two sessions. I say that it's like a transitionary session for my players where they were like, "Hey, we are wrapping up the last kind of arc and now we're starting the next kind of arc." So it was like a lot of traveling, shopping, that kind of thing. Um, and then I did laundry, and then I went to a Christmas party. One of my friends hosts a Christmas party every year, and I went to it. We did a white elephant, and it was a lot of fun. Ate a lot of good food, got drunk, and had fun. It was a good time. Uh, the white elephant gift that I received, it was a panini with a Pokeball. It stamps a Pokeball on the bread. It's very silly. I'm happy with it. But how are you guys? I hope you all are doing a good weekend. Oh, it's Christmas week. One second, I need to put on the item here. One second. How do I? God, I never fucking use OBS or VTube Studio. No, it's not that button. Is it this button? Uh, here you go. Okay. There. Did that. Oh my God. There. It's Christmas time. But how are you guys doing? Did you guys have a good weekend? Uh, I'm glad that my weekend's tomorrow. Hell yeah, I'm glad to hear it, Groven. Hi, X Dude. Hi, hi. Do, doing awesome. I sure did. Hell yeah. I'm glad you know what I'm gonna say. Uh, I hope you also had a good weekend, X Dude. Um, but I'm doing all right. Um, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I got distracted. Now my fucking train of thought is gone. I don't know. We're chilling. Um, The plan for the week is the same that it should have been for the last like 2 weeks, which is we're running a one shot today. We're finishing Metal Gear tomorrow, and we're finishing Silk Song on Thursday. So hopefully I should be back home in time for Christmas stream because it's like I need to be home to feed Rengoku. So in theory, I should be here on time. Lurk Moon, well, enjoy the Lurk Moons. I appreciate you uh, lurking for a bit. Um, but it should be good. I'm planning on streaming on Christmas. It might be wind up being relatively short. I'm not really sure. We're basically just gonna beat Silksong, and however long it takes to beat Silksong is however long it takes. And that's the plan. It should happen at a normal time. If I need to push it back, I will let you know, but it should happen at a normal time. Next week, Thursday, is New Year's. New Year's stream will be on New Year's, and every year we do a whack ass shit, unhinged behavior. Um, Last year we did a hear me out cake. This year we're gonna do a smash and pass. So if you are in the Discord, be sure to drop suggestions for what you want to see. And yeah, uh, once we confirm that we're finished both the games this week, I'll also put up polls in the Discord for finishing for next week's games, or I guess it would be the following week for Thursday, because we'll have a new Thursday game and a new Tuesday game, so that'll also be exciting. Uh, but today we are writing a one shot. Um, Man, I should have had caffeine. Oh, lordy. Um, Let me do this button, and hopefully nothing is broken. Nothing is broken. Okay. Let me see if I can't swap this around. How do I... Why don't I just do this? Here. Sorry, I'm trying to set up a new... So, the way my monitors are set up, usually I have two monitors, right? On my right is my PC tower, and in the middle, I typically have like OBS and YouTube chat. And then on the left, I have my game or whatever I'm doing. But in the wake of me, developing pain in my wrist and hand, I have learned that you're supposed to like turn as little as possible. So me being at my desk, hips facing forward, and then having to turn to like game for a significant amount of time to like look at the game is not good for me. Like, because I'm like twisted at the hips for, I don't know, a couple hours. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the game slash stuff on the main monitor and still have it be normal. Because if I put OBS over here, oh, and then YouTube chat here, but then YouTube chat is like half behind my mic. Let me move this up. I don't know how this will work for games, though, because this means that my phone, which is like for my model, is kind of like in the middle of the screen. Does this monitor raise up any? One second. Not really. Hi, Rose Knight. Hi. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. Been watching the Silk Song ones? Hell yeah. I hope you're enjoying it. I am very, very close to the end. But I'm pretty satisfied with where I'm at in the game. You know, I've gathered like pretty much everything. I've explored pretty much everything. So once I do the final fight, I will be, I think, satisfied with my playthrough. But how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. Today we are writing a one-shot for... Oh, that's interesting. Can I do this? Let's see if I can't do... Minimize this. Click this button. Move this over here. Okay. But anyway, thank you for watching the VODs. I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying them. What do we want to write? I have some ideas listed here. We could do like a heist. Do like a boss fight. Or like a battle. I'm trying to imagine what that would look like as a one-shot. A fetch quest? I feel like if I were to write a fetch quest, it might turn into a heist. An escape room? Dungeon crawl? I feel like most of these might end up being like a dungeon crawl. But this is going to be like more of a traditional dungeon crawl. An assassination or a mystery. Ran a Jailbreak game a few years ago. My players all want to be monster racing, so I made it based on SCP. Hell yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm not super familiar with SCP. I've read some of them, but I'm not like I don't think I would be confident writing that. It's a very neat concept though. Because SCPs are like non-Euclidean almost. At least some of them are. I wonder how many SCPs are like traditional monsters, so to speak. Half the time they're like, this room destroys the universe if the door opens. So, kudos to you. Oh, did you change your name? Or did you just hop to a different account? There are thousands of SCPs. It's a big community horror project. Yeah, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. I'm not familiar with it. It's super, super big though. Ah, was your D&D channel? Hell yeah. I don't know. I've been. I enjoy tabletops. They're a lot of fun. I've been running one campaign for like 4 years now. It'll be 4 years at the end of January. And boy howdy, it's been a doozy. It's been a lot of fun though. What do you want to write? Hmm. I didn't really come with a plan. So for those, if you haven't seen here, let me show you. We've already written two of these. The rescue is a low level one shot. 1.5 shot really. It could be one, could be two. It's definitely two if you include the the layer. But this one is just like a quick, you know, I mean this isn't even finished technically. But basically the plot is that like these kobolds kidnap a little boy and bring him here and you go find the boy. And then in theory it can lead to like, you know, a dragonling's like eggs. Um which is interesting. But and then we've also done the extermination. This is like a mid-level one shot where the party gets hired to like go like into a mage tower and um fight the golem that's like rampaging. Oh man, I really, really should have had caffeine before the stream. I'm like flagging in. It's been like 20 minutes. I just need to start working and we'll pick up some steam. Oh man, what do we want to write here? I don't know how many folks are chilling. This no. This button. No, actually, I can close this. Here, here, here. What am I feeling? I kind of want to write a heist. I've been wanting to write a heist for a while, so let's just do that. Let's just do that. Now, the question becomes, what do we want them to steal? Alright, like, that's the crux of a heist. I feel like if I'm going to tell my players that I'm running a heist, though, I feel like I would want them to be stealing something classic, if that makes sense. Like, you know, Ocean's 11 style, like, steal a boatload of money or a diamond or something like that. Oh, shoot. This. What to steal? Or we can do like, so classic Diamond, gem, artifact, etc. Or we could do like a bait and switch. Right? You could be like the kind of thing where it's like they're hired to hire something called the Ruby, and it turns out the Ruby is a red-skinned tiefling, right? Like something like that, where it's like this. It's just a good classic trope where it's like they're hired to steal something and they realize that something is like a child or something like that, and they're like, "Oh no, the moral quandaries." I feel like it would be a bit tough to do in a one shot, but maybe it's doable. Um, or it could be like this, but like the artifact is something that like maybe we like make them want to use. The classic being like the deck of many things or something like that, and then they pull from the deck at the end of the session, and then the whole thing goes tits up. That would be very funny. But aside from needing to know what they're stealing, an item that heals you every turn and an NPC needs it for their incurable disease. I mean, that's such an interesting concept because it's obviously horribly broken, right? But it really depends on your party. Um, yeah, will the players keep it for a powerful item? Yeah, that's the thing, right? I so if I were to play something like that in front of my party, I know for a fact that they would never keep it. They're all very good people, and the ones that are like kind of gamifying it, even they role play well enough to not, you know. But I've definitely met some players that are just like, it's a game. I'll fucking take the broken shit, you know. It really just depends on knowing your players. Because for some people, it's not a question. Some people, it is a question, but they land on one side. And then for some people, it's also not a question, but for the other side. I think I've met and DM'd for players of all three categories. Um, I actually have a player that has an item sort of like that. Um, where it's like keeping them alive, but also if they heal too much, they just fucking die. So it means that they have to play extremely safe. Um, but they also kind of half can't. I don't know. It's made for a very interesting dynamic. It's a totally broken item, but I think that's fine given the situation. Especially since they don't have that much HP to begin with. For caveat for a level 14 character. The party is level 14 at this point. I wrote the item relatively balanced. I mean, healing every turn. Again, I don't know how you've written it at all, But healing every round is a lot. It can be a lot. Alright. Who are they hired by? And who are they stealing from? I think no matter what, I think I would never, unless I was running like an exclusively evil one shot, I think no matter what, I would want whoever they're stealing it from to be evil. This person is bad and deserves having something stolen from them. Like, regardless of who it is, I think the players should be incentivized to want to steal it from them, regardless of whether they are good or bad or whatever. Especially for a one shot. Hmm. You know, the item. Where are they stealing it? So, obviously, the classic is like from like the vault of a manor. And I think that is like a very solid option. But I'm wondering if we can't do something like while it's being transported. That might be a bit tough to do as a one shot though. Because, like, do they already know the route that's going to be transported? Do we. And if not, is this not just like setting up an ambush and running that? Maybe the one shot itself is like scouting out potential routes and planning that. Hmm, maybe that's a bit tough. It's a very neat concept. It's like the fucking like Italian Job or whatever, where they blow the truck into the sewer. What if it's a cursed item and the family member of the I don't know what that word is hiring the party so they know the route from them? A family member of the victim. Wait. Cursed is in like. Maybe I guess maybe I'm not understanding what you mean by cursed item specifically. So usually a cursed item is like the curse applies when they're attuned. If we're talking D&D, I am trying. So for the record, I'm trying to write this kind of like system agnostic. Um, Such that it can be written in for any kind of tabletop system. Not, it doesn't have to be D&D. The person they're stealing from is under the effect of a cursed item, and their family member wants to take the item. Okay, take the item to like heal it and like force the party to be cursed, or like I feel like that's kind of a tough sell. I also, mm, or do they want the cursed item for themselves? But in that case, why do they want a cursed item? Hmm. Oh, that's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought. It would be like almost like an altruistic stealing, but I'm thinking of how cursed items like interact. What that would mean for any system. It's definitely an interesting thought though, because then you get into questions like does the person hiring them tell them that it's cursed? Do they warn them? If not, are they trying to get the party to bind themselves to the cursed item such that it's like no longer attached to the person? I feel like that would result in the party wanting to kill the person hiring them because they've been betrayed, which is definitely interesting. I don't know if that's doable in one session though. Like the hiring, the stealing, and the betrayal reveal, and like going after the person who hired them. That sounds like more than one session's worth of content. Like maybe you could squeeze it into one session, but it'd be a long ass session. Like a one shot needs to be like max 4 encounters. Um, and if you're doing like something like this, the encounters would be like a trapped door, right? Or I don't know, a room full of lasers, whatever you want to call it. We also haven't talked about setting even remotely here. Typically, I would go for like a fantasy setting, but I feel like this is one of the few one shots where you could not do that, right? Granted, any one shot you can do, not in a fantasy setting, but hmm, maybe I'll just write a fantasy, and if I want to not, and then I can just like reskin it. I don't know. The more I'm thinking about it, I think this is not really a possibility. Um, where are my formatting options? Format text. It's right there. Like, I think it's a cool idea. I don't think it's, like, writable in one stream. I'm sure maybe it could happen, but it's just tough to do in one session, I think, because it's either uh, too crazy or too short. I was throwing out basic concept ideas. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate any ideas that you throw out. It makes me think, which is kind of the goal here. Because I want to make sure I'm exploring all the avenues to it. So I think we are just going to stick to something relatively simple, and then go from here. All right, if it's gonna let's settle on this. Let's settle on this and list some encounters. List. Oh my gosh. Alt Shift S. Can you not? Wasn't it Alt Shift S? Am I crazy? Oh, it's Alt Shift 5. Oh, okay. List of what if the president intends to use the fantasy launch codes? The party needs to steal the numbers before they do it. True. That's very funny. It's also not that insane of an idea. I don't know what that would look like. It would mean that there would need to be like some sort of spell that's like written in a spell book that's like extraordinarily powerful. It's like extraordinarily powerful, but also people know about it. And so you're like, we need to steal the spell book before, it's used by the government and it's in like a government secret facility or something like that. Again, I think that's a very neat idea. Probably not a one shot though. That'd at least be like a two or three shot because you're like, there's no way something that powerful would be kept in an unsecure enough facility to be done in one session. I'm trying to think because like it's I think that's honestly a very good idea. It's just really tough to do in one session. It's very silly though. I'm gonna write that down somewhere. I'm gonna write that somewhere else. Okay. We're gonna write this here. 2 or 3 stealing fantasy nuke launch goods. A magical super weapon, it could be a situation where a dangerous person is about to be named to general, so the party steals the promotion. Ooh, that's also an interesting concept. Huh. Where you're not stealing something that's, like, worth anything, it's just... It just delays things. Hmm. Hmm. That's got me thinking about ways that could lead into different campaigns and stuff like that. What is going on? Okay. So, encounters. I'm gonna write that down as well. To stall a... The reason stealing important documents to stall a promotion, decree, etc. I don't know. This implies a level of bureaucracy, right? Which is interesting. Really depends on the setting. Because, I mean, in some places, like, I'm thinking like a king would just name a person their general, you know? And there's no papers, it's just what happens because the guy says so. I haven't been able to play D&D in a while, so now I just come up with ideas all day. That's very real. I'm I'm actually in the process of, so I'm running a campaign, but that campaign is like basically written down. It's not physically written down, it's just like I know where the campaign's going, right? Where it's been going for 4 years. You know, I've had enough time to know what the fuck is going to happen in that campaign. So I am doing this like one shot series, and I'm also writing a new campaign for a new setting for my friend's tabletop system. And that has been very interesting. In fantasy setting, I imagine military orders are as fast as horseback. Right. I'm saying like I think for this, I'm thinking like uh in a situation where you know what? I think I'm gonna split this out. I think I'm gonna split this out into two different categories. Maybe it falls under this category. Because, like, I want the heist to be something that's like you're going into a place to steal stuff. I think the idea of this, like, while it's stealing something while it's being transported, is an ambush. It's like a one-time thing, like an assassination. Or ambushing something in transport. Like, I think the vibe is going to be different, if that makes sense. Like, I think stealing something in transport is a cool idea. I just don't think it's like suited for what I want this to be because it turns out to be like an event rather than like a whole like a plotting thing. And this is would just be like again, it implies a level of bureaucracy which like you're thinking of like if I'm thinking of what you're saying is like military orders to like a general is in a different place than the king. I think Heist is a situation that can't just fight their way out. It needs to be espionage. Stealing, changing orders en route. It's the only way to make an impact on a larger conflict. Yeah. Changing orders. Changing orders is also very interesting. Hmm. Knowing my past, it will definitely change orders, even if I didn't say anything about it. That's very funny. That is very funny. I don't think my table would ever do something like that unless they were explicitly told to. That's very funny. I'm trying to picture that. Oh god, that would be a mess. I like it though. I like the gumption. Um, Army calls off to defend the wrong outpost. Oh no, yeah. Doing this in the context of a war is interesting because when I picture a fantasy war, I'm typically picturing like a what do you call it? I don't know, like an English French style war. Hi, Irk. Hi, hi. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you had a good weekend. The answer is none of the above. I don't know how else to put it. We have not really determined any level. It's just kind of a general. We're coming up with ideas. We're writing a heist. And we're just kind of like we're gonna be writing like encounters more than anything. So the answer is any classes, any levels, and the other stuff is neither here nor there. We're just kind of writing ideas down, getting a general sense of what kind of direction we want to take it from. I think I do want it to be. I think I'm going to settle on the idea that they're breaking into a place. In which case, let's write some encounters down. I mean, obviously, if they're breaking into either a manor or a castle, or maybe not castle, but any larger home in the state, I mean, we gotta have dogs. We gotta have dogs. I want dogs. I want dogs. Obviously, traps. Traps. What kind of traps can we have? So, uh, alarm traps. I want a door trap. Door trap. That sounds like a dwarf. Dwarf mage. Well, again, we're talking that those are builds. We're designing a one shot to DM, not a character build. Sorry if is that not clear? Maybe I should double check them. Dwarf draconic sorcerer. Oh wait, what? One second. What is? Why is YouTube yelling at me? Okay, that's fine. Is this fine? We have no drop frames. Our bitrate is 10K. YouTube is a hater? True. Why does it say my bitrate was 0 though? Humans in another party could use their abilities unless they were holding a certain magic item, so they had to pass around. That's so funny. That's very funny. I do like that idea. That's so silly. Settings. But it's not 0. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that YouTube is wrong. I'm just gonna assume YouTube's wrong because it's telling me that it's wrong. Great for the players to learn each other's abilities for since it was session 1 and someone new to the game. Yeah, it's definitely a great um like learning tool for sure. It's also a great team building tool. And you can kind of like learn different player attitudes at the table. I want to do a classic spike, whole axe, dart, hallway trap. I think those are fun. Everyone got their chance to shine? Hell yeah. That's great. That sounds like it was a very successful game, which is always a good time. I'm realizing I'm very tall. One second. Oop. Yeah, there we go. Obviously we need guards of some kind. Which means we need a patrol route. Which also kind of means we need a map. Um, that's pretty much it, right? Alright. One only tells the lies and the other always disagrees with the party. Jesus. Okay, let's think about this. I think how would we do that? Let me. Okay, so I'm thinking of like what this place might look like. Here, we'll keep it a manor. I think a manor is the right size. I want this place to be. Um, and then let me open up Paint. We'll start drawing. If I do this, oh, I do this. If I do this, does that change it for you guys? It doesn't. Okay, that's neat. Thank you, OBS, for not being horrible dog shit. Okay, and then I can zoom out here. Let's do it like this. There. And then I can turn this on. And hopefully you guys can see it. Oh, does OBS want me to resize it because I've changed the size of the window? I guess that makes sense. Oh. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, never mind. I take it back. OBS is awful. And now if I do this, now it's moved. Very neat. Um, something like this. And then I can do this. Here. Alright. So we'll start here. Like this. And then what would I want this place to look like? I'd probably want it to look like oh, can I not do a continuous path in Paint? God, I'm so used to like work, not whatever this is. If you don't know, I do a lot of engineering work, and I use more robust softwares than Paint to draw in. Hi, Aki. Hi, hi. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hi from the work computer. I mean, as long as you don't get caught, right? Would they even be able to see your history? Is that something that happens? They do not care. Oh, okay. Then if they don't care, then it's fine. Hi, hi. Is work like basically done for you then at this point? Because you only have like what, an hour left? I got my degree in architecture. Yeah, for real. I am very much used to more like CAD like softwares than this. Um, yeah, I've done almost everything I can do, and I have an hour left. Hell yeah. Um, I just draw. What brushes do I have? Brush. What does this look like? That's fine. We're just getting a rough. Why did it do that? And now it's gone. I can't undo. There we go. Is campaign cartographer for map making? Which one is that? I've used a couple different cartography systems for map making before, and I never found one that I like loved. Campaign cartographer. Oh, this one's pretty. Oh my gosh. There's no way this is free. I refuse to believe that any of this is free. It's definitely not free. It's a bit of a learning curve, but once you get used to it, it's amazing. Yeah. It's definitely not free, but that being said, it does look very good. Oh, and they have city ones? Oh my god. It's a one-time payment, which is rare for software these days. True. Actually, way too true. Dungeon designer? Oh my god. I'm looking at this. This looks so good. I hate to be like this. This looks very good. God, imagine just getting to buy software. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. This is like official stuff. How much is this? It's like $7,500. Dungeon Dynasty campaign. Oh, okay. I am very tempted. You know what? I'm actually gonna bookmark this. Let me bookmark this. Here. Not here. Let me bookmark it here. Because Lord knows that would be so good. Alright. Let's do some drawing here. I think I want to make it look like this. roughly. With like different wings. Um, so we need like this is garden. Maybe we got like trees or bushes like here. I'll do that. And then like a pathway up to like the front door. I did not mean to pick lines, but that's fine. And then like this is all fence, right? And then if I am a person owning an estate like this, what does that mean? I could send you my copy. That would be okay. It's only slightly pirating. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought you meant, and in which case, uh, legally on stream, I am obligated to say no. But I do appreciate the offer. Because, in theory, they could watch this and then take legal action. I'd also have to dox myself. Okay, then definitely no. The answer is definitely no then, in that case. Meanwhile, me on stream, yeah, yeah, pirate it. Well, yeah, there's a difference between saying to pirate it and then actually doing it. I'm gonna move this back. And then just do this. I want it to be black. I has my real name. Yeah, definitely no. Definitely no. It's very funny though. Okay, so if I'm running an estate like this, I think what I want is a garden area. We'll do something like this, like garden area with like a pond maybe. And then like a worker's house over here. That's where like guards and stuff stay. Paint looks just as good. Hell yeah. Um, and we can have like a path to the back door here, leading like this. Um, and then back here is where the doghouse is. All right. So if this is what the grounds look like, I want the place to be guarded, but not too heavily guarded. I'm thinking maybe we put here. I'm gonna draw enemies in. Do we want to do them in purple or pink? If there are dogs, then the real character might be the friends they stole along the way. True. So I'm thinking like guards here, one guard here, and one guard here and here. With like, oh, I did not mean to make that person. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Control Z, Control Z. We'll put another person here. And then off click, and then this, and then we'll put like a small guardhouse here at the gate. Literally though, literally. And then I think maybe we'll do like the dogs in pink. We'll put like a dog posted here, a dog posted here, and one posted like here, and like that. Um, okay. So this is what I think this is a pretty like robust outside. I don't know how the party would get past this, but that's not my problem. That's the party's problem. Let's talk indoors. Oh, you know what? Let me make uh, a graphic here. Uh, Legend. Black is solid wall slash fence. Purple circle is guard. Pink circle is a puppo. And then green is like greenery slash garden slash whatever. Garden, greenery, etc. And then blue is water. Blue is water. Okay. Now, let's talk interior. We're going to have to make a couple interiors here, probably. Honestly, I'm thinking if this is going to be a one-shot, I could literally just make this map, and then if you're running to the players, you could just give them this map and be like, here's the map. Figure it out. Because even having all the information may not help them in getting it all done in one session, let alone having to figure it out. Or you could do like a classic, like the map is ever so slightly wrong and it throws everything off. Alright, let's draw this building. Let's actually... No, let's start here. We're gonna do this. Like this. Sure. Let's zoom in. God, that looks so awful zoomed in. Alright. It's almost like I'm drawing with a mouse. Let's do it a little bit better here. Oh my god, I have no room. 1 second. I imagine they have to, so giving them time in real life seems like a good way to expedite things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if you were to, like, if you're running this one shot, you just hand them the map and be like, here's the place, make a plan, spend some time making a plan, and then go at it. We're just gonna try and get a general layout of this house here. Like, obviously you have a foyer. Oh, you know what? I actually have a manor, a rough manor. Let me go grab that. I've already designed. Reusing assets is the way to go. Let me see if I can find a map of it. Where is the Gold Vega Estate? Rhyme. Seat of the World. Agamar. Eastvale. Oh my god, it's not here. It's not here either. Where is the estate? Where's the map of the estate? Oh, I'm so disorganized. Oh, maybe it's still in the Rule 20. I hope it is. Zoom out. It's definitely not on this page. You go to the other page. Is it here? This is. Oh my god, this is a fucking mess, is what it is. What the fuck is going on here? This is the castle. Oh, this was the fight against the Elven Pantheon of the Gods, which was afterwards. Which means it's not here either. Fuck me. What did I do with it? Hmm. What did I do with the Goldvig Estate map? It's gotta be here somewhere. I have it here somewhere. Don't get me wrong. I know it's here somewhere. I have it. What did I do with it? Oh, I'm so disorganized. I need to get a grip on this. Oh, it's not there. It's definitely not here. Well, I can just draw the Goldwig Estate. I kind of know what it looks like from memory. What did I do with it? Now I'm just curious to know what I did with it. But whatever. That's not a thing for on stream. Party applies to be custodians to sneak in undercover, but they all fail the interview because they spent their time in caves and catacombs instead of gathering work experience. That's too real. That's too real, Rose. That's too real. Alright. The Goldbeak estate looks something like this. So if we're gonna keep the general shape, do it like this. And then I'll just draw what I remember. Like this. Sure. It looks kind of like this. Sorry, for those that don't know, the Goldbeak estate that I keep saying over and over again is a one of my players is the adopted daughter of like a famous priest and his wife, and they're evil. They're like super super turbo evil, and obviously no one knows that, but the daughter does. And this was like a whole big thing. They went back to her home and like murdered them, for lack of a better way to put it. This was a dining room slash sunroom. I don't really remember what. There was a hallway here that went here. This. I don't remember much past this. Something like this. Like this was stairs up. This is a bit complicated because there's two floors here. This is like 2 stories in 1 story. And then there was a door here, door here. This was a sitting room. This was a dining room. This was like a sunroom here. So let me start labeling these. Make this smaller. Dining. Sitting. Foyer. So let's say sunroom. This one was a like a meeting place, meeting room, guest room. I don't know what you call that. This room was a music room, I want to say. And it connected to something over here. Lord and Lady are holding an event. Ooh, we could definitely do that. We could definitely do that as like cover. We'll put the kitchen over here. This is the doorway out. That means we need like a ballroom as well. So here, we're gonna finish this area. Yeah, I like that idea. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna write that down. Let me do this and write this down. Write it down. Circumstances. Oh my god. Forgot about this. Let me just do this. Circumstances. The heist is happening during a party lord and lady of the estate are hosting. Honestly, I could just make this the gold leagues. I don't need to reinvent the wheel here. This would have to happen before, obviously, Elias is dead. We could just make it the gold leagues, because I know that they're evil. Although the people don't know they're evil. Which, if we're so for those that do not know, the gold leagues in my setting, Elias and Elaine are the Elias is a priest. He's like the head priest of the church in a city. He's like basically, if you're familiar with the Catholic religion, a bishop or a cardinal, like not technically the Pope, but basically the Pope, right? Of a major city. And his wife, Elaine, um, is a famous lady, but unbeknownst to the general population, Elias does not worship the religion that he is like the head priest for. He is like a cultist for a different religion. And Elaine is a lich. She's like, thousands of years old. Don't tell my party that. I guess technically they don't know what she is, but whatever. Are you familiar? Never heard of it? Hey, I don't know what people know. Some people are not super familiar with uh religions. Although I'm not sure that the concept of a bishop is that hard to understand. It's literally a chess piece. Um, but anyways, the Goldvigs are super evil on the down low. And it means they can only move diagonally. True, so true. Um, but uh, not only are they super evil, they are also uh putting they're like doing demon research. Uh, Elaine is well known, like not well known because obviously she doesn't. It's very much not, public knowledge. But Elaine is doing like demonology research. She puts demons in people to try and turn them into weapon. Um, and I mean, Elias is just a bad. He's a bad guy. He's fond of torture and that kind of thing. Um, but they also have 3 children. Demon research. Everyone needs a hobby. True. Churchless plot of doom. I mean, kind of. Uh, I think plot of doom is accurate on a grand scale, not on a minor scale, you know. But basically, she, summons demons and then fuses them to people's souls, and then such that they are easily controlled because controlling monsters is easier than controlling people. It's not, but close enough for government work. I guess it's kind of a metal line. I mean, it's easier if you know the true demons. Well, so yes, but also the fact is that demons, at least in my setting, demons specifically, are they love to kill things and are like power hungry. Um, so if you incentivize them properly, they will just do what you want. Whereas humans can just they can make a moral choice. The demons are never going to make the moral choice. So if you just dangle what they want in front of them, they will just do the thing. Hi, Harmless. Hi. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. So, I don't know. It's just a give and take. Like, in an ideal world, Elaine has created a being that has the capacity to think like a human and make decisions like a human without the moral compass of a human. And with the power of a demon, right? Like that's her ideal creation. The holidays are nigh. True. Are you a big celebrator of Christmas and the holidays, Homeless? No, but I love dooming on those days. That's honestly, that's a very harmless answer. They're saying demons can't make deals; they only respect power. Devils on the other. Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. Demons, uh, do typically do not make deals, and they do respect power, which is why Elaine wants them, right? Because she would just be more powerful than them, and so they will listen to her. It's very simple. It's very simple. There's there's no complications. There's no contracts. They just, they will just obey because she's again centuries old, very powerful. Okay, let's just make it the gold beings. That makes things easier because I'm very familiar with them. Uh, Elias, Elaine, Goldbeing. Their children. They are. What are their kids' names? Um, Cassandra's the youngest. Youngest, studying to be a priest, yet to be corrupted. Um, and then Felix is the oldest. He's a knight of the city. Super twisted and evil. And then the middle one is Adeline? What's her name? This is find outable. I have her character sheet somewhere. Rhyme. Eastvale. It is Adeline. Perfect. Don't do that. What's going on? What just happened? Don't do that. Oh. God, OBS is so fucking weird sometimes. Adeline. I close YouTube chat. There we go. Adeline is... How old is Adeline? They don't bother corrupting you with demon worship. That kid is... So, that's the thing. Cassandra's, like, relatively normal, like, by design, right? She's, like, the good child because she's very easy to show off. Felix is... So, if we're talking D&D, he's a conquest paladin. Let me write down some basic things about him. Oh, he has the flail. That's right. He's a flail of terror. Totally not evil. Not evil at all. Adeline, I want to say Adeline's a wizard. She is a wizard. She's a necromancy wizard. Hell yeah. Do I have how old she is written in? No. I always imagined her as kind of like late teens. Early 20s. Romancy wizard. And then Cassandra is like 13, 14. And she is a nature cleric. Whatever the fuck that means. What the fuck is a nature cleric? That's definitely something that I don't know. Okay. I can close this. Parents casually talking before bed. Hey, have you noticed Kanan seems like a good kid? Yes, and I couldn't be more disappointed. That's very funny. Okay. So let's think about this. Who all is in attendance? Obviously the Duke of the City is in attendance. Who I cannot remember what his name is. I do know that he's a lizard folk. Whatever the fuck his name is. It doesn't matter. Um, the... I want... What's the name? Ooh, we could even set this even further back and put Dayor here. Even though she's also dead. What's the party for? Are they raising money for a charity for appearances? Or are they social climbing? What a good question. I imagine it's like probably both, right? Party is probably like a celebratory thing for the church. And like it could be like for a holiday. And they're taking offerings / gifts. Oh, maybe like an auction type thing? I like that. I think that's a cool idea. Hi, Scar! Hi. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. Let me take a look at the Many-Faced Gods holidays. So, for the record, the religion that they pretend to be a part of is that of, like, it's a monotheistic religion, uh, that is about, like, meritocracy, is the best way I can put it. It's like, the concept is that, like, there's one God and every living being exists as a part of God. And so like it's called the many-faced God. And there's like the face of man, there's like the face of the lion, there's like the face of the trees, right? And like they celebrate um different aspects of like reality that way. It's a very different religion. I'm sorry, I make random shit. I'm doing okay, just trying to figure out what to do with all this time I have. Hell yeah. That's a good place to be in. I'm doing alright. It's almost the holidays, so work is gonna be easy this week, I think. Um, pull up this. This. Alright, let's look at some holidays. Many-Faced God, oh my god, like in Game of Thrones. I mean, kind of, yeah. Is until I have analysis process and just sit there staring at a blank screen for okay, don't do that. I mean, if you need help deciding what are you choosing between? We can make this real easy. I have a lot of trouble choosing things for myself, but not for other people. Okay, so let's see here. Holidays. The Face of the Woman is a holiday celebrating love and nurturing warmth of family. During this holiday, the many-faced god takes the form of a loving mother as families gather together. So it's like a family day. Games. What do I spend break grinding? God, there's so many games. What are the choices? I just recently got back into Terraria. Fun fact, I've never played that game. It's one of those games that I'm like half scared to play because I'll either love it or I just will never play it again. I don't know if I will like it. but maybe. Pretty fun to get sucked into. That's the issue I have. Okay, that's very real. That's very real. Alright, let's look at this. The face of the lion. The face of the lion is a celebrating the ferocity, tenacity, and community of the lion. Many folk go on a hunt for the day. Those that are lucky enough to catch things are said to have luck for a year. That's a hunt. In stars and time, the face of the lion does not concern himself with the face of the sheep. I don't think it's the face of the sheep. I think there's one that's the face of the goat, right? I'll keep going here. The face of the kipper, which is like a piranha. The face of the kipper is a holiday celebrating the bounty of the sea and water. On this day, fishermen break from work and families, especially those on the lake, spend time on the water feeding the fish as they pass by. The face of man. The face of man is a holiday that celebrates man and all that he is. Communities come together in a celebration for a festival about life, housing, and infrastructure. We could do that. It's like a fine day to throw a party and like raise money to build houses or something like that. The face of the eagle, celebrating the pride and nobility of birds of the sky. It is celebrated by bird watching and feeding and creating art. It's like an artsy holiday. And the face of the goat. The face of the goat celebrates the steadfast nature is celebrated with a sport called What the Fuck Is This? Is this a real sport? Or did I make this shit up? Why is it French? Why did I make up a sport and call it something French? What the fuck? Abattre? What a cool sport. How do you play what the fuck is this? That's what I'm saying. What? I don't know. It's this word? Is this a French word? Or is this something I made up? Oh, it's like sumo. I see. It's like wrestling. That makes sense. It's the face of the goat. Those are the holidays. I think it would probably be like a fundraising thing on the face of the man. Abattre also means slaughter an animal. Oh, dang. Okay. Well, it is the face of the goat. That's pretty metal. Is it? I named it that. It's like a sumo wrestling type thing. Gotta close up and head home. Okay. Be safe on the way home. Oh, so hi Wiz, hi. Welcome back. If you're back, or if you're just lurking still. The Face of the Goat is also like a harvest festival holiday. So I was there for the. I think I'm gonna do it on the face of man. So let's see here. Party is a celebratory auction. Here, we'll just do this. Celebratory auction. Fundraising. Or building houses. I'm going to put this in quotes so that way we know that they're evil. On so this will be for D&D then. Or the holiday Eastvale holiday face of the man. celebrates community and what else did it celebrate? And I guess civilization. Infrastructure. That's, you know what, civilization's fine. Items for sale. We'll need to come up with an item list for sale. We don't need that many things. This is trying to but so that means we need something that is going to be for sale at an auction in theory, but also it could also not be that because the auction could be a red herring. Like, it's something not on the item list. Because, like, we knew that Elaine and Elias keep, like, prisoners. Here, let me finish drawing this. We're gonna go back to paint for a second. Paint. We can put, like, a ballroom, like, here. That's fine. I'm gonna finish drawing what I remember before I fill out stuff that I don't remember. The launch codes. True! What a callback. Music. Hi, Kurama! Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. RPG stream? We're writing a one-shot. We're writing a heist. We're getting somewhere. Let me finish drawing this. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna copy. And then I can put it over here. Or I can put it over there. What's it for? It's not for anything, I guess. It might end up being for something. But it's just a one-shot. It's part of the series that we're doing where we're writing a bunch of one-shots. Which means you are, in fact, allowed to be here for it. The one ring to rule them all? True. That is a bit too powerful, I think. Let's do this. So, we're gonna do a quick sketch of this. So, this is where the foyer is. Roughly. And then, I remember there being like a hallway here. Oh my god. Hallway. And then, this is where like everyone's rooms were. Like, it was like this. I remember. I want to say this one was Elaine's private quarters. This one was Adeline's. No, wait. Adeline's was this one. This one was Cassandra. And this one was Felix's. And then this was Elias's. This was his office. But that's not where we're gonna put this. I don't know. It's what I remember, roughly. And then we're gonna do. Stop that. One more for the basement. Void Heart? Where's that over here? It's a very interesting magic item. Horribly evil. Based on a holiday charm? Hell yeah. I don't know who would want that. Other than someone who works with undead. Let me get the basement done. So there's a hidden basement here. How did the party get into the basement? I don't remember. Paladin fighting undead? Well, I mean, maybe. Because then you can just walk up to them and kill them, I guess. It's not very glorious. But I guess it gets the job done. I don't know. When I think of a paladin, I think of like a champion, like someone who like is willing to put their lives on the line, and it's a very safe item. Janitor paladin, yeah. Actually, why did I copy this? Let me get rid of this. The basement is smaller than this, and is rectangular. And it's split up into like 5 or 6 rooms. And they just need to pay off college debt. That's way too real. Here, we can do something like this. Okay. So the rooms were as follows. This was. No, wait. Wait a second. What was what? This was the summoning chamber. Yeah, it was like this. This one was the summoning chamber. We're just gonna imagine that's a pentagram. This one was Elias's like worship chamber. This one was the torture chamber. And then this one was the cell block. like this. Sure. And then this one was Elaine's like testing room. Magic testing room. Sure. And this had stairs. Oh, there was a storage room as well. Nope, not like that. It's a circle. We'll draw a rectangle. There's like an ingredient storage and then stairs. Alright. And this is a hidden room. Technically, it lets out in the foyer, but that would make things very complicated. Because people would be going in and out of the foyer a lot. How did the party get down there originally? Because there was another hidden trapdoor somewhere, and I don't remember where it wound up. I think it was in this room. Um, do we even want what they're stealing to be down here, is the question. Yes. Minus worship room. Elaine's study. They were stealing something being auctioned? Yeah. Which, maybe. The answer is maybe. The thing is, we could, but it doesn't have to be, right? Because the auction, regardless of whether they're stealing something auctioned, it's a good opportunity to steal things during the auction. Regardless of whether they're stealing something that is being auctioned. Right? Sure. And then this is storage. So, like, if they're stealing something, like, they could be stealing something to, like, implicate the family as, like, horribly evil. In which case, the auction is just, like, a pretense for them breaking into the place. Right? I just love the idea of something being unveiled and it's just not there anymore. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea. I'm just wondering how it would be pulled off. Because, like, if you think about it this way, like, logistically, if there are a bunch of items being auctioned, they would need to get into the area where the items are, which is almost certainly guarded, right? And then, like, take the item without putting anything there. Oh, you could replace it with something implicating them. Oh, now that's interesting. That's very interesting. What would that be? That would be like Elias's holy symbol. But technically, he's not a. Technically, he's like a warlock. But whatever. It's all the same thing. Um. that would make this twofold. This is almost like no longer a heist. Um, I don't need this because for whatever reason I have lost the map of the Goldvig estate. Oh. It's fun to play secondary goals, it really is. It's not here. It's pissing me off that I cannot find this thing. This map. Because it should be in this folder, and it's just not. So where did it go? Huh. I don't know. I don't know what I do with it. And it's annoying. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. This is a rough map of the place. We could put... I would want the auction storeroom to be close to the ballroom, but not too close, so that way they can slip away. Here, let me... draw in some hallways here. Something like this. That's probably too far. Now we can erase this. Doesn't really matter what these rooms are for. Could do something like this. The rooms are for your crew. Gosh. Could do like tiny rooms over here. I don't know. Just kind of doing whatever. Imagining this is like a servant's quarters or something. Hidden treasure Europa collection. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's think about this for a second. So this would be another like sitting room. And this is where with trapdoor. With I don't know what to call it. We're just gonna call it TD for trapdoor. And then I don't know, kitchen is here, maybe? Sure. None of this particularly matters. I think what we'll do is here trick me into staying here and reading this. Literally. So the auction room is, I think what we'll do is we'll put like auction storage like somewhere over here, in like a room over here. And this is like servants orders. This is impossible to read, but that's fine. That's like over here. So that way, there's even like a chance that like a maid will walk by and see them as they're stealing stuff. I don't know. This will probably be like, ooh, you know what we need? This will be bathroom, and this will also be a bathroom. Because we need areas for people to go. God, if this does not look good at all. Let me just make this a rectangle. Unfortunately, that's a Adventure Time reference? Question mark? I have not seen the show that has Jake the dog in it. I don't remember which show that is. I think it's Adventure Time. I haven't seen it. Don't ballrooms often have fancy glass windows that face a garden? They could, I guess. I don't think they need it though, personally. When I imagine a ballroom, I'm thinking like an enclosed space that has like a stage and like dancing. I mean, I guess it could have windows, but not not necessarily. Let me just do this. See what you're going for. Yeah, it's just kind of like a what am I picturing? What am I picturing? I'm picturing like a I'm picturing something very specific, and I can't even place what I'm picturing it from. Almost like a theater, kind of. Ball like this. Like this is kind of what I'm picturing. Copy image. Where would I put this image? Such that you guys can see it. Oh, I'll just put it in paint and then delete it. Yeah, let me just throw it over here. This is kind of what I'm picturing. Roughly. I didn't really need to zoom this out. I don't know why I did that. Some more gallery style. Yeah. That's that's exactly the kind of words I was looking for. Thank you for that, Scar. I appreciate it. Let me draw in some guards. So there will be one guard here for sure. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. There has to be at least one guard just kind of like chilling here. And I want guards patrolling, but there should only be like one, because it's supposed to be like low key. So like, we do this, and then I'm just gonna draw. I draw a very faint arrow. Brush. How do I change the size of the brush? Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Okay. How many people are playing this one shot? I don't know. TBD. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna draw a rough path. Actually, we're gonna make them do. Oh my god, don't do that. Control Z. Holy shit, I don't know what just happened. I know they're evil, but did they ever rent out their ballroom for weddings? Uh, in my head, the answer is no. Weddings would happen at the church. Like, this is roughly the guard path. And there's only ever one. What about receptions? Well, maybe, I guess. Again, so if you weren't here earlier, these people are like a bishop, basically. Imagine a Catholic bishop or an archbishop. Um, okay, I think this is good enough for a map, at least for now. I'm gonna file, save. Map of there. And then we'll go back to here. Alright. So alright, so what are they stealing? They're going to steal an auction item. What it is, we don't know. But also, secondary objective is to steal something from the hidden basement and replace an auction item with it to get the gold beings arrested. Who are they hired by? Oh, so who are they stealing from? One of the head guards has. So if this is going to be before the events of the campaign, that means that because Elias is alive, Dior is alive, that means that Yancich has to be one of the guards. Head guard Yancich. How do you spell her name? This? And she has Condemner still. Still has Condemner. It's a magical hand crossbow. If the party encounters her and she's hostile, they're gonna die. More or less is what you need to know. Stay away from the dragon lady. He said that they like controlling people. What if an auction item is a mind control ring or something? They can ask a local monarch to get the bidding started, tricking them into buying it. Oh, what an interesting concept. Hmm. Items for sale. Magic. First. Ring. Very ornate. Yeah, who would outbid the Duke? Uh, right? Thing. Mind control. Uh, I'm just gonna label it as mind control ring, but for now, we can work out the logistics later if it matters at all. It probably doesn't for this purpose, but we'll put wait for the Duke to bid on. Okay, what do you want them to steal? Oh, you know what would actually be interesting? If they steal, so did other thing they replace the ring with? Oh, you're saying to steal the ring. I thought that was just gonna be like one of the things in the auction. A zone of truth. Unfortunately, that's not really how zone of truth works, but it's a very interesting concept. So what I'm thinking is that like, even if the party succeeds, I'm thinking that maybe because I'm trying to keep this like in the timeline of events of things that have happened, right? And this is in the past during which like almost regardless of what happens here, Elias and Elaine like stay in power, right? So either they talk their way out of it or they like uh you know, like maybe they're arrested and then later they like get out because they've like, you know, unimplicated themselves somehow. It doesn't really matter. Um but it would be very interesting. So if like one of their magic items is like this would be a callback to my players specifically. But one of the things is the rod. Like they could replace it with like I don't know, like the first piece of the rod of 7 parts. This would be if one of my players was playing in this one shot. I think it would be a really cool callback. Like if they would be hired by this lady to steal the rod because she's the one in possession of it by the time the like current party finds it, right? Or maybe that like she buys it. the magic item that finds magic items. What else would someone want to steal? I'm thinking of all very much things that could be like any of these rods would be any of these rods and any of these rods, any of these items would be something worth stealing. A big shiny rock, also known as diamond. I guess we could do that. A very large item. Diamond. We could do like a prized horse. Where are they gonna keep the horse? I mean, I guess you could technically. Agamar is known for its horses, like this kingdom. Like it's very much like open, rolling, rolling hills, horseback country. So a horse is like unironically not outside the question. I don't know where they would keep it, or if it would be something they bring into the building, but maybe. Horse? They are temporarily petrified. That is horrifying, also very neat idea. Awfully great. I mean, petrification is terrifying magic. It's really terrifying magic. Um, what else? I'm thinking like some kind of weapon would be a good item. What's an artifact that's a weapon in my setting? Do you even have one? A Glock. True. Glock's very common in fantasy settings. So there's the rod, there's the orb, can't be that. It cannot be the axe, that's somewhere specific, can't be the teeth of the dragon. It can't be any of this. What else could it be? Oh, I mean, making it a fragment of antiquity would be too much, I think. That's like too powerful. Excuse me. Plus, most of them are spoken for. Deck of many ruin games. I mean, we could. The issue is that the deck is already somewhere in the universe at this point in time, and it would not be here at the auction. There's only one deck in my setting, is the thing. Um, so mostly to keep it out of the hands of players. Hammer is spoken for. The eyes are spoken for. That's spoken for. That's spoken for. Perhaps a fake deck of many things. That's also a possibility. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day, Norm. I hope you had a good weekend. Um, this is somewhere. This is somewhere. Gosh. Wow, all of the fragments are actually spoken for. I did not realize that. Huh. Okay, well, there goes that idea. I mean, they're too powerful anyways. We could do a fake deck of many things. Deck of illusions, I think is what it's called. I think there's an item called the deck of illusions that is not a deck of many things, but is a deck of cards. Trident of Fish Command. I don't know, is that a real item? Is that like a canon 5e item? Or is it just a Trident of Fish Command? I mean, it's basically what Poseidon or Aquaman's Trident, more or less. I'm sure they've made something like that. A deck of freaky things? Wiz. This is a real fight. My community turned into a meme. Let me take a look at it. Basically, Aquaman's Trident, right? More or less. Let me take a look at the DMG. Trident of Fish Command. Weapon Trident Uncommon requires attunement. This Trident is a magic weapon. It has 3 charges. While you carry it, you can use an action and expend 1 charge to cast Dominate Beast, spell save DC 15, on a beast that has an innate swimming speed. Regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. God, that is so specific. You control any creature that has a beast with a swimming speed? Yeah. What beasts have swimming speeds? Oh, now I'm gonna have to take a look. Outside of, like, just generic fish. Now you got me wondering. This... Bears are fish? Bears have an innate swimming speed? There's no way. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Bears do swim naturally. Black bears have a climb speed. Polar bears and cave bears do. Brown bears have a climb speed. Cave bears are in... Why does this say it's not in SRD when it clearly says a single monster manual? Oh my god. I just cracked my chair. Okay, it's fine. It's not broken. At least not yet. Monster manual page. What was it? 334? Polar bear. Oh, that's because cave bears are a variant of polar bear. Interesting. And polar bears have a swim speed of 30 feet. Variant cave bear. Some bears have a life underground, feeding on subterranean lichen and blind fish. Known as cave bears, these ill-tempered behemoths have coarse dark hair, and dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. Otherwise, they have the same statistics as a polar bear. Huh. Interesting. Bears are fish. I guess bears are fish. That's incredibly silly. Holy shit. 1 second. I have knocked over my pile of D&D books. There we go. Trying a fish man? Could be worth stealing. I mean, yeah. To prevent fish-related crimes. Well, so the thing is, like, I mean, I know you don't know this, but the setting, this place where this heist is taking place, this country is on a massive lake. I mean, you could call it a sea, but it's technically a lake. I don't really know what the difference between a sea and a lake is, but I mean, I guess it's just size, right? Difference between the sea and the lake. Oh, it's just their size, and the Great Lakes are actually seas. Is that how that goes? Huh. Weird. What constitutes as an inland sea is complex and somewhat necessarily vague. Okay, sure. I'm looking at like the Wikipedia page for inland seas, and it's like modern inland seas. So it's like the Marmara Sea in Turkey, the Baltic Sea, Hudson Bay, the Caspian Sea, and it says the Great Lakes, despite being completely freshwater, have been referred to as resembling or having characteristics like inland seas. So sure, I guess. Question mark. I guess the lake here is roughly the size of like Lake Ontario or Lake Erie, which is why I'm bringing up the Great Lakes specifically. I mean, in theory, like I designed it after Lake Ontario, but like whatever. Neither here nor there. We're getting like super, super, super way off tangent. Oh my gosh. So, in other words, a trident fish ban, very valid, because they are on a large body of water. Also, bears are fish, apparently. What else? Uh, I think what we might do is replace it with the holy symbol of Elias's patron Nebita. I don't know if that's how that's spelled. Fancy bird watchers must love this place during certain parts of the year, since birds migration follow past the large lakes. Is this off topic? I mean, not really. So, there is a whole holiday in this country for bird watching. So, literally, it exists. Um, I mean, yeah. I don't know if that's how it's spelled. How is Elias? I think where the information here is on Elias's character sheet. Let me go find it. I hope it's here at least. It's got to be somewhere. Where is Elias's character sheet? Why is he not filed under Eastvale? Hello? Where is it? Elaine is here. Oh my god, I'm going insane. I'm like truly going insane. Where is Elias's character sheet? His kids are here. Elaine is here. But he's not? I am going to murder past Nori. It's none of these people. I'm like seriously going crazy. Where else could it be? Pivot to assassination, one shot for past Nori? True. That would be very easy to do. It's just not here. What did I do with it? Okay, well, I guess, I mean, alright, whatever. I don't know what I did with this character sheet. I'm going crazy. I'm missing a whole dungeon. And the character sheet for the boss monster of the dungeon. Where is it? What did I do with it? I feel like I'm going insane. Oh, lordy. Okay, well, whatever. Um, let's get like one more item here and we'll probably call it. I think we have enough for me to run a one shot for this, but I don't know that I would. PG, where did I build my dungeon? I'm sure it'll turn up at some point too. But I have enough. I think I have enough information that I could run a one shot for this. I don't know that anyone else would be able to run a one shot for this. Jedi hand motion, you never did those. That's definitely not true because I've run it. I ran the campaign. I literally ran the dungeon. And the boss monster is dead. Elias is dead. That was a dream. It's not a dream. His weapon is held by the current party member. His adopted daughter, who they came here to kill her dad because he was super abusive. This is a dream. She has his sword. His very evil sword. That is also good? Question mark. It's complicated. It's very evil against evil things. Let's put it that way. I'm seriously going crazy. I'm still looking. I'm sorry. Let's get like one more thing. What's a good magic item that is powerful? You've been in a coma for months? No. Listen, if that would be the case, that would be really tragic because I enjoy where my life is at right now. Like, very genuinely. I am happy. Oh, I had it pulled up. I might as well just look at what the Duke's name is. Or maybe I didn't have it pulled up? No, it's here. His name is Othokent Marik. Othokent Marik. He's a lizardfish. Q, like you too. Us being your imagination. Oh my god. Um, is there anyone else that would belong here that I at least have written down? Um, not really. At least not in the city. Obviously, other circle members would come. I doubt the king would come. Maybe the head wizard would. A noble flower-based knight. Which flower-based knight are you referring to, Rose? Is it perhaps a rose knight? Just a crazy idea? Alright. Alright, you got me. Rose knight. Okay. Um, I want one more magic item in here, at least. What's a good, powerful artifact? I'm sorry, I just love designing artifacts. I can't help myself. I love giving my players random bullshit that they can theoretically have. No, who the fuck is this? Who is this? I have a character sheet here. I'm like, I have no idea who this is. Driver? Oh, I do know who this is. Never mind. Give them something that amounts to a Skyrim Wabbajack. That's the thing that does like random shit, right? Wabbajack Skyrim. I have not played enough Skyrim to know. Like to bid my life savings 50 gold on the trident. True. It turns whoever it hits into something random. Be something like a chicken or an eldritch bang. That is very dangerous. What the fuck? Sometimes they just disappear and money falls from the sky. Oh my gosh. That's a bit horrifying, isn't it? That's terrifying. Or like could be helpful, could be bad. I think most games usually make a D20 roll. Oh, I see what you're saying. But this is to be sold at an auction. These are items that are going to be sold to the general public. Like, it can't be something like that where someone could just buy this and commit mass murder with it. You know, and you're telling me rich people wouldn't buy a dangerous mending staff? I mean, they would. I'm saying that rich people probably wouldn't sell a dangerous magic staff at a public event. Not public, but nearly public. Especially not one that is basically a bishop, right? We're talking about someone, so the person here that is selling this is a quote unquote very lawful good person. At least they very much pretend to be a lawful good person. The rich are inherently trustworthy. Oh my god, what a true and base sentence. Wow. Wow. Make uncharged so it doesn't work without a way to charge it so no one knows. That's an interesting concept. It like the sale of an item that is theoretically incredibly powerful if you can get it to work, but no one knows how to get it to work. That's an actually a super interesting idea. I cannot elaborate on the subject. Uh, I'm just gonna put staff of random polymorph. Uncharged. No one knows how to charge it. I'll have to write the effects of this thing, but it's a very neat concept, I think. Something that like you doesn't even charge daily at dawn, right? Because almost everything is like recharges at dawn. Um, and I think the concept of a magic item that requires specific conditions to recharge is pretty neat. Can we only be fired during a solar eclipse? That's a super neat concept. Unfortunately, cannot happen in my setting. That's actually very funny. The it can't happen. The sun and the moon are opposite each other in the sky. And they rotate at the same speed because they are fixed four planes. The four. That's why nobody can figure it out. Oh, that's very funny. Skyrim needs soul gems, so holy tidal wave Batman. Sort of. I mean, it's just like that. Agriculture gives X charge depending on purity. You could do. I mean, you could just make the concept of a soul gem. Like it has to be charged by like murdering a living being. Like it absorbs the soul. That's very dark, but also very appropriate for these people, right? Because it would be like it needs to soul rend like demons. Demons in my setting have a very specific mechanic in which they can consume people's souls on hit. It's very or on kill, right? Like if you get killed by a demon in my setting, there's a very small chance. They have the opportunity to not give you the ability to have death saves, basically. Demons are super dangerous. They're very, very dangerous. Because if they like drop you to 0, they can rend your soul. It's an ability that have like you have to roll a DC, relatively low DC, like Wisdom saving throw or Charisma saving throw. I don't remember. To not have your soul eaten as soon as you go down. I like the idea of casting Identify to find out what an item does, but not being told how to use it. Yeah, I think that's super neat. As long as the demon is a baddie. Most of the demons are not baddies, I want to say. Unless you're talking about, what's her name? The Mushroom Queen. Zeg Tamoy, or whatever the fuck her name is. Is now my bedtime. But good night, good night, good night. I'll watch the rest later. Well, I appreciate it. We're probably going to be wrapping up soon. I'm just kind of chatting at this point. I have enough to run this. I don't think most people would have enough to run this. This is enough for me to run a one shot. This is not enough for I think for the general public to run a one shot. Because this requires a lot of backstory that only I know about these characters. But yes, good night. Good night, good night. I appreciate you stopping by and helping out. Who running? Um, what else would be in here? I guess what else do we need, really? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it's Dior Sinclair. What do I know about her? She's human, right? She's also very dead. Oh my gosh, she's super dead. She got fast forwarded. Fun fact. Um, where's her character sheet? I literally just saw it. It's in Eastvale. Here it is. This character sheet is wrong and incomplete, but it's good enough. Oh, it's very incomplete. Holy shit. She needs like 5 more levels. Yeah, she's human. She is the conjuration seat of the circle of 8. Um, she wants to steal the dowsing rod. We're gonna put that in quotes because it's not a dowsing rod anymore. At least I know what it is. It's not a dowsing rod. Dowsing rod. Hi, hi! I hope it went well. I'm glad to hear you're home safe and sound. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. Um, oh, you know where I can check the spelling of that too? This document. Table of contents. God, this document is so fucking beefy. Can't wait for it to be done. Where are the lesser idols? Are they in religion? Are they not? Maybe they're not in here anymore. Oh, I guess not. Well, dang. Okay, that's not really important though. What else would be sold at an auction of rich people? Oh, we could do like artwork. We could do artwork. Pair of. Let's do a pair of paintings that are teleport portals. People, we're not. This is not. Again, these people present themselves as good. Some rare ore. We could definitely do some rare ore. What is a rare ore in my setting? Do I even have one? Something specific to the setting? Probably not. I don't think so. That's because I haven't really done the Dwarf Kingdom at all, even remotely. And the dragons make dragon glass. It's not an ore. Aura? Like aura? Like AURA? Is that what you're? Is that the pun you're making? Yeah. Oh, I see. Um, let's make an ore. What ore should we make? Gems? We have a diamond here. Jewelry, we have a ring here. I mean, we could do more, but if we've already got one, I think that covers it. Probably. I like the concept of an ore. What would the ore do? What are some good fantasy ores that we could steal? Like mithril already exists in D&D. Adamantine already exists in D&D. What's a good fantasy ore? Metals in fantasy. Demonite? What is demonite? Magicite? Alright, alright. Something made from demons that contains a part of their power. I mean, it wouldn't be able to be marketed as such. Again, these people, while they are demon worshippers and or uh demon enthrallers, I don't know what you want to call it. They are, again, they're presenting themselves in this auction as lawful good. Manufactured nethicite. What is that? I've never even heard of that. Is it a thing? Nethicite from Final Fantasy. Nethicite is a powerful source of magical energy from the world of Evilis in Final Fantasy 12. A subtype of... Oh, Magicite was real? A subtype of Magicite, Nethicite absorbs copious amounts of mist. What the fuck is mist? I was just memeing because he said Magicite. I don't know what that is either. It's the name of magical stones in several Final Fantasy games. Huh. I've never played any of... I've never played Final Fantasy. I've never played any of the Final Fantasies. I was not memeing, but I had no idea it came from Final Fantasy. Is it from something else as well? Oh, I gotta Google it. I just know it from Ender Magnolia. Oh, you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're referring to. Yeah. Fight demons would fit. Maybe. That's sort of like how. So, Scar, what you're describing, there is a magic weapon that is that. It's not a mineral. It's a literal like sentient weapon. So maybe not because it already exists and is unique. But I do like the direction you're going. Huh. Huh. Sonora deity that makes you breathe underwater when equipped? I don't think so. Not as like an ore, as a magical effect, yes, but not as like a natural ore. How would that function? Let's think about the logistics of this because this is something that I mean the way I I write my setting is like aquarium ore is in Mythic Metals MC. I don't know what MC is. Aquarium ore. Oh, is it Minecraft? Yeah. A gemstone able to store magic. I mean, what you're describing is an ironstone. Aquarium ore. This has no information. Mine from the deep sea and it says set bonus. Okay. I know this is a video game, but I'm wondering how does that work, right? If you were to mine a metal, right, and then smith it into a set, how does it allow you to breathe underwater, right? Like that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like from a literal logistics standpoint. I know we're talking about magic and video games and stuff like that, but I'm thinking like how does this work? Because I prefer to have my magic grounded in reality in some way. It's magic, I ain't gotta explain shit. You'd have to make a magic item. Yeah, I'm wondering, like, if it's an ore, right, then in theory, everything of that's made by it would grant this property, right? Whether it's armor or a sword or whatever. Right, like, if you think about, like, adamantine, for example, in D&D, adamantine, when forged into armor, prevents you from being critted. And when it hits, it like does extra uh like durability damage to objects, and that's because adamantine as a concept is very like sturdy. It's very difficult to damage. So when it hits things harder. It hits structures harder, and when you get hit, you prevent some damage. I'm thinking like that's like the kind of property that I'm looking for a rare ore. Is like something that's like almost like not magical but innate to the rock. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining this properly or if I'm just spouting words. I see. I know Banglum Scar. That literally explodes when hit. So you make it into a weapon, so it explodes. That sounds extremely difficult to forge. That's like honestly kind of perfect for this, right? Something that's like very, very difficult to use to the point where people don't even mine it because if they strike it by accident, they'll cause a cave in. That's honestly that's kind of good. That's pretty that's you know what, Scar? I like that. I would like to call it something else though, because that's a very silly name. That's a very silly name. That's people would not call it that. Um, what does the word explosive come from? We're doing etymology now. Let's see here. The Latin explosion comes from Latin explosio, which is driving a play off of the stage. The action of driving out with violence and noise. As if you're like clapping them off the stage. Are you gonna basically translate explosive metal into a word? Kind of. I'm getting there. I'm trying to determine the origin first and then figure out what it comes from like the Latin to like applaud. Like applauding off of the stage. Like you're what the fuck? That's such an interesting root to the word, right? It's very kind of crazy, honestly. But like that's where the sound comes from. It's where like the word comes from. To drive an actor off the stage by making noise. To drive out off by clapping, originally theatrical. That's crazy. What the fuck? It's also didn't come around until like the 1500s. Huh. Ignitite? Oh, I like that. That's quite good. Ignitite. I like that a lot. Uh, explode at Lord on striking requires very requires extreme skill to mine and craft with. The properties of which can be found at a later time. Developed at a later time. Nickname Boomstone? I like that. Boomstone. I like that. That's very unique. It works. Uh it theoretically could be used to invent firearms if I want to at a later time. Because it's like basically gunpowder, but in stone form. Boomstone and throw it or something. Yeah. Uh, and then interesting. That's super super interesting. Thanks for the idea, Scar. I have a lot of things I could do with that. Okay. I have enough here. We're gonna call it for today, I think. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all a lot. Oh wait, before I forget, let me copy and paste the map into the document. Select, copy. This, interact, this, paste. Oh, okay, well, I guess I can't paste it in here. I'll paste it in somewhere else. Here, here. Nope, not this one. This one. This. Drive. Here. One shot. Heist. There we go. Alright. Okay. Thank you all for coming. I had a lot of fun. This one was, I mean, very interesting stream. We had a very slow start. But it all worked out in the end. Um, I have enough that I could run a heist. I don't know what level it would be at, but it doesn't really matter because, like, the concept, theoretically, they could get it done at first level, but it could also be very difficult at first level. Um, because this one, you just need to have a high enough sneak to get around stuff. Once the juice gets flowing, it's easier. Yeah, that's for sure. Um, but I will see you all tomorrow for the finale of Metal Gear 1. Um, and I'll see you on Thursday for the finale of Silk Song. Uh, the I have no idea how long Thursday's stream is gonna be because we're just gonna be playing Silk Song until I beat it. For real this time. Yeah, literally, it's just gonna be the final boss. I don't know how long it's gonna take. So it might not take much time at all. It might take a lot of time. I have no plans for what to do after. And that's where I'm at with it. You'll beat it first try and then be like, now what? I definitely will not be beating it first try. That's for dang sure. Like, I know me, it definitely is not happening like that. I was shocked that I beat the juggle on the second try last week. You never know. I know. Anyways, you've said that before and have so? No, I haven't. What have I beaten on the first try? I beat the Crawfather on the first try, and that was on accident, and I didn't predict it. I can't think of anything else I've beaten on the first try. Genuinely. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I beat on the first try. It doesn't matter. We'll see on Thursday. Um, until then, I hope you all have a good rest of your evening. I will see you all tomorrow for Metal Gear. And yeah. Don't forget to suggest things in the Discord for the New Year stream. Um, right now, I think I just have Devil May Cry and Warhammer, and maybe Dark Souls. Let me double check what is listed in. So Warhammer, Devil May Cry. Oh, and I guess Cars. Technically, I think Pigeon was going for a specific character, not for the entire Cars franchise. Didn't you say Dark Souls too? I don't think I said Dark Souls. I just was like, if someone does suggest Dark Souls, I don't want them to put like every character. Full Metal Alchemist. All right, we're banning Harmless. Good night, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye. Good night. Dark Souls. It has to be in the Discord, otherwise I'm not doing it. Good night.